Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, the first thing that I have to talk about this week, headline of the video, and that is that the Vans BMX Pro Cup Tour for 2020 has been completely canceled. The entire thing. It's a huge bummer, but it's pretty understandable considering how many different stops there are to this tour and what all leads up to the championship. Maybe if all of this ends, I'm not saying there's any word of this or anything. I'm just saying a thought that I'm having right now is that maybe if all of this ends soon enough, they can still have some sort of event in California at the end of the year like they do every year. But I'm not going to hold my breath. Unfortunately, this is something that they had to do, and a lot of things are doing this right now that start early in the year and rely on the entirety of the year to have all of these different stops and locations. It's unfortunate, but it happens, and it's part of everything that's going on right now. So hopefully this stuff can end, and hopefully we can have some sort of events. And in all honesty, with the championship event for the Vans BMX Pro Cup going on around September each year, and Swamp Fest going on in October this year, if it gets to happen, this means that I think more people are probably going to be able to go to Swamp Fest than who would have if they were going to have both events. So that's probably just going to be another reason that there's going to be that many more people at Swamp Fest, provided that all of this stuff ends and we can still go to Swamp Fest in October. So while that is unfortunate, as I've said many times, I want to talk about something positive next, and that is another Skatepark fundraiser that's going on the internet. This one is for Four Seasons Skate Park, and it's on GoFundMe, and you might be thinking this doesn't sound positive. But it is, because they only had a $10,000 goal on there, and as it sits right now, it's at $18,358. That's almost $10,000 more than what their initial goal was, and it's really awesome and positive to see that and just see how much support is going out to the indoor skate parks, because clearly everybody wants to have indoor skate parks to go to after this is all over, and I'm pretty psyched to be able to talk about that. And the GoFundMe is still up, so people can still donate, and maybe if there's more than enough money to keep the places going, they'll be able to improve the skate parks, and the people who donated will be the ones who help make it happen, and we'll have new things to ride whenever all of this is over. And that's a pretty cool possibility if you ask me. The next thing that I want to talk about this week is a contest that Odyssey is doing called the Odyssey Hot Seat Contest. And literally what you're doing is designing a seat using their template, and then you're uploading it to Instagram with the hashtag. And with that, the winning seat design entry is going to be adapted for a real retail seat with Odyssey, and that's really, really awesome. It's also cool for Odyssey because they get a free design for a seat that they're going to sell and make money on, and maybe if they're cool enough, they'll give a little bit of that money to the person who designed the seat that they're going to be selling. Regardless, it's going to be awesome for somebody to have a seat that they designed be on a real seat that's for sale from a real company. Also, I should quickly add that the details for the contest and how you enter it in the generator and all of the information that you'll need if you want to design a seat are in the link in the description down below. There's links to everything that I've talked about already and will talk about any order that I talk about them in the description below. So that's the only time I'm going to try to say that today. And that's it for the things that I wanted to highlight this week. We do have one piece of sponsorship news to talk about, and that is a video welcoming Cody Pollard to Terrible One. And if you guys like the crazy, fast, huge air outs from concrete bowls, this is a dude that you're going to want to watch. I feel like I remember seeing him at the Vans BMX Pro Cup Championship that we went to in September last year. I feel like I remember seeing him. Regardless, he was going just as high and ripping just as hard as everybody else there, even though he wasn't a bigger name. Hopefully the fact that he's on Terrible One now can get his name out there some more, and hopefully we can see more from him. And as far as the video goes, it was very well put together, very well filmed and edited, and the music went with the riding and it didn't get in the way at all. So I enjoyed this video, and if you guys enjoyed that style of riding, you're definitely going to enjoy this one as well. And that brings us into the videos from this week. The first one that I want to talk about kind of keeps it in the same vein as the Cody Pollard video as far as the going high and fast stuff goes. Fast and loose, maybe. This is a video from Vans called Homestead, and it's basically an edit featuring Dennis Enarson, Corey Walsh, and Jason Watts, all shredding Dennis's new revamped backyard setup. And when I say fast and loose, that's because Corey Walsh and Jason Watts, fast and loose, and Cody Pollard's a part of that as well. But this video is like you put this map, this level, this backyard ramp into a video game, and then the craziest stuff ever was done on it in that video game, because these guys are doing all of the transfers that everyone would dream about doing but never be able to do unless they were in a video game. And they're also doing tricks over them, and it's seriously just, it's very well put together. There's no backstory or information in here at all. It's just an edit of Hammer's riding, but it's very good. And if you guys are into that style of riding, there's a lot of really good stuff in here. Now let's take it in a completely opposite direction with a video from S&M and Charlie Crumlish called Stay Home, where he is riding some pallets that he turned into a wedge to sub in his backyard. And if you guys are fans of lip tricks, this is one to watch, because there are so many impossibly hard lip trick variations that Charlie does in here that he makes look easy, honestly. That tire tap to opposite 270 or regular 270, whatever it was for him, I can't even tell anymore, was amazing. That trick is so hard, and there's a lot of tricks in here that are just the same, and he does them easily, and this is very enjoyable for anyone who likes lip tricks or just wants some sort of a break, because I think we all need videos to watch and things to keep us entertained right now, and that's why I have so many videos to talk about this week. After that is a video with Seamus Mckeon. I think that's how you say his name. That's how Crandall always says it, so that's how I'm gonna say it. But it's a video with him called Just to Hold. It's 3 minutes of just raw clips all put together, but it's honestly entertaining all the way throughout, because Seamus is the kind of rider you have absolutely no idea what he's about to do. He could go and do a flare, or he could do a gnarly backflip over a street spine, or he could go and do some sort of revert trick that doesn't look like it should be possible. And that's why he's one of the riders that every single time a video of his pops up, I'm excited to watch it. And this one was no different, and every single clip in here was entertaining in some way. And this dude has like the most gnarly crashes. Just picture the guy in your riding scene who is like the best, but in order to get there, he has to crash harder than anyone else. This is what this guy seems like. He seems like he's just putting it in and sending it and making it happen. And sometimes that means brutally crashing a couple times before you ride away from something that no one else would want to try. Next up, we've got a video from what has to be one of the top 5 most well-rounded riders in BMX. And that's a video called Tom Justice Raw 90 Seconds. Tom Justice legitimately has to be one of the most well-rounded riders in all of BMX in all time. He can do all of the crazy box jumping tricks, and he can do a lot of them both directions. 360 tuck no-handers over huge box jumps like 10 feet over the top of the box jump, both ways. Then he'll go and do a giant subrail foo-fa-noo, and then he'll go and ride some trails and do the same tricks he does over box jumps. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy could go and do 540s and tail whip airs on vert ramps and do all kinds of crazy flatland tricks as well. He is just one of the best riders out there right now, and I feel like he's kind of underrated, but not really in the same way, because everybody knows who Tom Justice is, but he just doesn't get the coverage that I feel like he deserves. And with that, he's also one of the most dialed riders out there, and you'll see if you watch this video some of the stuff that he has dialed. Like at one point in the video, he does a 540 Canadian foot jam on a quarter pipe. Then he comes around, does a nose press to 180 back tire press against a wall, and then right after that does foof, ice, to downside 360 foot jam whip on a street spine. If you can't imagine that, just watch the video, and it honestly deserves me talking about it for longer than the video is, just because this guy is so good at riding. And I'm gonna stop riding his nuts now and get on to the next video. That's actually the last video that I wanted to talk in depth about, but there's a few more that I think are worth watching this week, and I wanted to give you guys a well-rounded list. So let's go through those right now. The first one is with Russ Barone. That's a name we don't see pop up with videos every day, and it's a video with him in Puerto Rico. And then there's a pretty cool one from the Grindwheel BMX, and this is the Quarantine Challenge, where they gathered self-film clips from people all around the US and put them together in one video, which is pretty cool right now, and I hope that more people do this as time goes on with everything going on. I think that'd be pretty sweet to see from all different types of riders and scenes. Then we got a video with Adam Banton called Recovered Clips, followed by a video from Backbone BMX with Tyson, Jones-Peni, and it's called Expression. And this one's got some trails and some concrete skate parks, and I felt like that gave a little more well-roundedness to the video this week for the videos that you guys might want to see. Then there's another Battle of Hastings qualifier video. This one is with Alec Rutheford. This dude is literally always taking insane drops and doing 360 turndowns, down stair sets, and all kinds of other insanity like that. And I feel like just nobody knows who he is, and he's always putting out videos at this same level. and this is definitely no exception to that, so maybe this will get him into the Battle of Hastings. Then after that, we've got another street video with Damian, Cespedes, and it's an animal video if you guys want to check that one out. And then we have the Madeira ABD Extras video. So if you guys didn't know, Madeira's new full-length video, ABD, is out. It's available for purchase. But with that, they have extras, and Our BMX uploaded them to their YouTube channel for you guys to check out if you want to. Then after that, we've got some product related news. The first is a minute-long promo video for the Cult Kicker, a kicker ramp that Dakota Roach is making himself for Cult to sell on their website. I don't know how many they're making, but it says that they're available now on their website, and I'm assuming that Dakota Roach is making all of them, which is kind of cool. If you guys buy one, you can say and know that Dakota Roach made the ramp that you're riding. Pretty cool thought and a great business decision for Cult to make some ramps that people can literally buy and have shipped to their house, made by one of their favorite BMX pros. Then product related and interview related, because the interview section comes next. We've got a video bike check with Denim Cox talking about his new bike that he built up and his new frame that's going to be available May 1st called the Grime frame. He talks about the bike and building it up and all of the different parts, and honestly it was just a very real bike check where Denim's just being himself, talking about his bike the way that he would tell one of his friends about it, and it was pretty entertaining and enjoyable to watch. And then we can move into the interviews from this week. The first one that I want to talk about is with Gary Young, and it's called Least Favorite, Most Favorite, and it's Gary Young talking about his least favorite and most favorite video parts, and this one is long. It's like 20 something minutes long, and Gary goes super in depth about everything that he talks about, and honestly it was really cool to watch. I didn't know that much about Gary Young moving into it. All I knew is that he's a super shredder, and I didn't know the extent of like how far back the video sections that he's made go, and hearing him talk about what he's working on now and into the future, and it's just awesome to see someone like Gary Young still killing it so hard for so long. Then we had one called Van Homan Answers Important Questions from Vital BMX. This is another one of those Instagram live style videos where it gets split up and turned into an interview. And I only got into the first little bit, but Van Homan is always entertaining to hear tell stories and listen to talk. So if you guys are Van Homan fans, which I don't know if anyone isn't, you're definitely going to want to check that one out. After that, we've got another magic number video with Declan Brooks. This is in the magic number series where they make them pick 3 spots that they'd ride for the rest of their life, 3 tricks that they would do for the rest of their life, and 3 riders that they would ride with for the rest of their life, this time with Declan Brooks if you guys want to check it. Then we've got another On the Couch, this time with Lux BMX's founders Evan and Mitch, followed by a day in the life with Nikita DeCaros for all of you to check out if you want to. And with that, I'm really curious to hear who you guys think is the most well-rounded rider in BMX right now, as well as of all time. And if you have any other thoughts or comments about anything else that I talked about today, leave them in the comments down below. And with that, I'm really curious to hear who you guys think is the most well-rounded rider in BMX right now, as well as of all time. Leave that in the comments down below, along with any other thoughts or comments you had on anything else that I talked about today. And hopefully you're subscribed so that we can see you tomorrow for another video. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.